So thank you for that. Thank you all for introducing yourselves. I'm Dr. Jay Sordean. I am an acupuncturist and herbalist. Today we're going to be talking a little bit, and we're working together, about secrets of company wellness programs. And I have background in this not only from my own 30 years of clinical experience as an acupuncturist and naturopath. Also, I'm a QME, which is a qualified medical evaluator in the workers' comp system. So I see lots of people with injuries from companies. So I have a very good idea on ways to help prevent injuries in the workplace as well. I've been licensed for 30 years in California. I have first line therapy certification, which is one particular way of doing weight loss or improving body composition programs, which is really the better way to think about it. And also a member of the Foundation for Wellness Professionals. And so I do a variety of talks based on that. With respect to company wellness programs, I've been working with this whole concept for at least 6 or 7 years. I was trained in it through the Foundation for Wellness Professionals, but I also used to be a member of the Northern California Human Resources Association. And so there were quite a number of different presentations done there, panels on wellness programs with some of the top companies, Safeway, WellPoint, a variety of different people doing best practices, information, seminars. And I also have done presentation myself. I was scheduled to do a workshop for Northern California Human Resources Association back in about 2009 or 2008. I was scheduled, it was around December, and they had like 8 people signed up and they needed 10 to run it, so I didn't actually get to do it. But I have done presentations on company wellness programs for both Berkeley Chamber of Commerce previously in 2009, in this room when it was open in the other room, and for the Emeryville Chamber of Commerce, Richmond Chambers of Commerce. And I was on a panel of 5 people that the Emeryville Chamber of Commerce had on wellness programs. And one of the people in that program, on the panel, was from Cliff Bar. And so they, like Annie's, they sort of each have their own like on-site facilities for exercising, are very much involved in wellness programs. So it's great that Juday's here for sort of representing Annie's program too as one of the best practices examples. And so I'm a certified wellness program consultant. So the San Francisco Business Times, in the September 6th to 12th edition, it was all about company wellness programs. And they had an insert which somehow I lost, but the insert was, it was the best part too. It's somewhere, I folded it somewhere and I'm not sure where it is. It's not here. I didn't bring it here, but it lists the top 20 or 25 companies as far as wellness programs in the Bay Area. And that was very interesting. I talked to the woman who wrote the article and who helped put that together. And the basis for that particular rating of company wellness programs, so I was sort of curious about that. It's like, exactly how do they choose these people? Why did they get selected for those positions versus other people? So there is an employer wellness maturity model that a company produced, and it is also, it's part of that company does Healthiest Employers Toolbox. It's a particular self-assessment. So essentially these people got on because they did a self-assessment. And I think the larger companies who are involved in this would actually hear about this kind of thing. So they jumped in and assessed themselves, and so they got ranked up fairly highly. I forget how many people actually did it. There were 75 total who ranked in the higher levels, and I think maybe 103 applied. So it's a very high level of people who actually got those status in the newspaper. But we do have here, on your first page here, let me go through the notes I have. First page is a survey of current activities, which I'd like you to very briefly fill out. This is something that I use when I do go to companies talking about their wellness programs, to find out exactly what types of things they are using. In 2009, as a member of the NCHRA, I also had a survey done of those who were willing to participate. I think 24 people participated and filled out a very extensive survey that I consider to be at least equal to this survey that was done. I had all these ideas about things that should be included in a wellness program, and I had a professional help me create a valid survey that is on SurveyMonkey. And so I think some of the results are in here also of that survey. And then I also did a survey just of random people who wanted to go online to the same thing. And so there's a comparison of those two in here. But so I'd like you to very quickly, if you could, go through this survey, put your name, your company name, number of staff, workers, or employees there. And some of you are just yourself. More than 50% of the people here are just themselves in business. They don't have that. And perhaps they have only one location. Now, as a member of the Foundation for Wellness Professionals, one of the models that I use of company wellness programs is also taught, and there are various people around the country who are preferred providers of that particular system. So if someone is working in a national company, we do have the availability to actually do this program nationwide. But so if you could check off the appropriate boxes related to current activities or future plans. Number one, do you have a wellness program? And we know that at least one auspicious individual here has a wellness program because she's in charge of it at Annie's. And then if yes, do you participate in the wellness program? And this is very important. When I was doing this with the NCHRA, and the best practices are that the corporate culture has to buy into this. And so people at the top, like if they're in the HR department, they should be also participating in it. And the CEO, etc. If those individuals are on board, then it will move forward and it will actually be successful. It needs to actually be a culture of wellness in the organization. So there are various components that have been found to be essential based on best practices that a program should have. So that's what this program, are you currently doing this or planning on doing it? So the wellness committee or a safety committee, actually having employees buying into it and having a group of people that are helping to plan it and talk it up is very important. And also take some of the burden off of one individual in the organization in doing that. Having healthy food, that's like in the vending machines, that's in the cafeteria, etc. Very important. Because as I say, and I think most people would say, eating as organically as you can afford is very important. And trying to cut out junk food is very important because it's mindless calories, and you also, if it's not organic, you're getting all kinds of chemicals in the body, which that toxicity adds to health problems. It's actually one of the areas that most wellness programs do not address is toxicity. So in our process, what we do in companies, when we come in and do our one-to-one health screenings on individuals there, we also do a component that is related to toxicity in their body to determine if there's toxicity, because in our aging population, and if we think about ADHD, autism, Alzheimer's, dementia, etc., there are many, many, many toxic chemicals in the environment that are neurotoxic. And so this is certainly a component of the degeneration of people's health over time that needs to be addressed at an early time. Anyway, that's what research I've studied has shown. And so actually checking for toxicity in these on-site health screenings is an important component that most other programs do not do. So has everyone filled this out?
Well, I'm just one person, so.
Okay. So you could just say, are you currently doing any of these yourself? Yeah, very short. Yeah, that'd be good.
Mine is kind of difficult because for instance, our students, we have a wellness coordinator for our students. But in my opinion, our wellness program isn't very aggressive. So sometimes
is not aggressive.
Not very aggressive. Not very aggressive. Not aggressive at all. Because without we can talk to the wellness coordinator and say, hey, what about this food or what about that? But that's not that's not really considered a wellness program in my opinion. We have a place to work out because the students work out, and we could be, you know, we can manage our. There was a time when we were managing our schedule and working out together, but that wasn't something the company did. That was something we decided to do.
Okay.
So some of these questions I'm kind of halfway answering. I didn't want to make it seem
very
like I
good.
didn't know what I was talking
All right,
about.
that sounds great. Thank you.
Mhm.
And so on the back it says, does your organization have a health and wellness program currently in place? Would your management be interested in helping your employees or members reduce the risk of illness? That might be a question applicable to what you just mentioned. Does your management believe that the health and well-being of your employees or members is having a negative impact on your organization's bottom line? Does your management believe that a significant portion of your healthcare costs are caused by preventable illnesses? Does your management believe that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? And will your organization require absolute proof that the program has reduced healthcare costs? Because this is often a driving force for companies, is will these programs actually reduce healthcare costs? Now at the bottom of this, that you see these little words, starter, seeker, wellness minded, healthy, healthiest. The Healthiest Employers Toolbox has various stages in it. No, I was looking for my quicker videos. So we're doing this survey here of your current activities, and then the toolbox categories. So the maturity of a wellness program is staged according to the Healthiest Employers Toolbox. Stage 1 is a starter. You made the decision to invest in wellness, and you've selected a few programs based on initial impression of where your company's healthcare costs are greatest. That could be in the work injury arena, it could be in the general healthcare arena, etc. Your priorities are ease of implementation and affordability of the initial program setup and its ongoing costs. Workplace culture and environment are not your primary focus. So that's starter. The seeker is you've had wellness programs in place for at least a couple of years. Your focus is broadening to reach more workers and improve engagement. You may be expanding the list of health concerns you want to address. And you're starting to probe for gaps in workplace culture and environment that inhibit healthy behaviors. So I would think at least 3 out of the 4 of you are probably no higher than seeker, if not just starter. And then there's the wellness-minded stage 3. Your company has sustained a significant investment of both time and money in improving employee health and wellness over multiple years and explicitly considers workplace culture and environment as part of its holistic employee wellness strategy. You assess wellness programs' results and outcomes in quantitative terms as well as qualitative terms. So I would think that's still, Andy's at that, are you measuring?
We're starting, I mean, they only started since they only did a little bit before I got there.
Oh, okay. So it hasn't been years and years yet?
No.
Okay, so we're going to skip the healthy and healthiest categories. But if anyone is interested, you can go online and if you just Google or Bing or whatever you want to do, Healthiest Employers Toolbox, then you can get all the details of these different stages.